Welcome to the Ultimate Bookshelf Tour. I am going through every single book that I own, and we're going by genre. So today we are going through sci-fi, horror, and romance. This is video 3 of 4, so we only have one more after this, in case you're bored. It'll be over soon. But I hope you're actually excited to see what books I have, especially the ones that I haven't read. Because, again, I would love some recommendations. Which ones do I own that you think I should get to first? Which ones do you want to see me read? Let me know. I do have one additional book to show for the fantasy section. Don't get mad at me. I bought a book. But this is a special book because my friend in real life wrote it and self-published it. So, it's so pretty. This is Kazeto Katsuma in the Orb of Secrets by Bobby White, and this is following a young boy named Katsuma who finds a hidden shrine with a magic orb that has powers, and it centers like martial arts fighting, and it's gonna be such a good time. I'm so excited to read it, so looking forward to that in the near future, adding this to my fantasy TBR. And now on to the books that are already on my shelf. So we're gonna start with the sci-fi read books first. And the reason we're starting off with that is so I can show my favorite books of the year so far first. The Dungeon Crawler Carl series by Matt Dinniman. I'm obsessed. The next book in the series should be here in like a week, but I cannot wait to film this. So we've got book 1, Dungeon Crawler Carl, Carl's Doomsday Scenario, The Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, The Gate of the Feral God, and The Butcher's Masquerade. Kindred by Octavia Butler, Pines by Blake Crouch, The Tusks of Extinction by Ray Naylor, The One by John Mars, The Passengers by John Mars, Ready Player One and Ready Player Two by Ernest Cline, Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes, The Oracle Year by Charles Soule, Dark Matter and Recursion by Blake Crouch, The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey, Sphere by Michael Crichton, The Martian and Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card, The Traveler, The Dark River, and The Golden City by John 12 Hawkes. This used to be a favorite trilogy of mine. I haven't read it in like 15 years though, so I would love to reread these. Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemore. Let's look at the sci-fi unread books. How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. A Prayer for the Crown Shy. I think I lost book 1 in a bet with my sister. A Memory Called Empire by Arcady Martin. The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. The Hidden Girl and Other Stories by Ken Liu. All the Birds in the Sky by Charlie Jane Anders. Lexicon by Max Berry. Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. The Rook by Daniel O'Malley, The First 15 Lives of Harry August, and The Sudden Appearance of Hope by Claire North, Old Man's War by John Scalzi, The Kaiju Preservation Society, also by John Scalzi, The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown, Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor, Africa Risen, edited by Sheree Renee Thomas. Oh my god. Let me try this. Ogunachavwi Donald Ekpeki. I'm sorry, I don't know. And Zelda Knight. A New Era of Speculative Fiction. Ascension by Nicholas Binge. Spark by John 12 Hawkes. The Stand by Stephen King. Is this correctly categorized in sci-fi? You tell me. The Prey of Gods by Nikki Drayden. An Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivers Solomon. Network Effect by Martha Wells. The City Inside by Sumit Basu. Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor. How Long Till Black Future Month by N.K. Jemisin. Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. The Paradox Hotel by Rob Hart. Altered Perceptions, an anthology edited by Brandon Sanderson. Temper by Nikki Drayden. Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. Upgrade by Blake Crouch. Mem by Bethany C. Morrow. Several People Are Typing by Calvin Casult. The names today are really getting me. I'll be honest, I just try to keep the accents off of any letters and just try to pronounce things casually, but do not take how I'm pronouncing these things as a source of truth. I don't know. The World Gives Way by Marissa Levin. Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. Dune by Frank Herbert. This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone and Amal El-Matar. All Systems Read by Martha Wells. I did actually listen to this audiobook, but I was so distracted at the time that I need to reread it. Little Eyes by Samantha Schweblin. The Warehouse by Rob Hart. Eruption by Michael Crichton and James Patterson. Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. The Sleepless by Victor Manibo. The Ministry of Time by Kayleigh Bradley. No One Is Talking About This by Patricia Lockwood. Born and Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. Okay, those are all the sci-fi. It's time to move on to the red horror books. Needful Things by Stephen King. The Anomaly by Michael Rutger. The Spite House by Johnny Compton. The September House by Carissa Orlando. Haunt Sweet Home by Sarah Pinkser. Ghost Story by Peter Straub. Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. Black Mad Wheel, Daphne, Goblin, and Spin a Black Yarn, all by Josh Mallerman. A Sliver of Darkness by CJ Tudor. Burn the Negative by Josh Winning. The Changeling and The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Laval. Eileen by Otesha Moshfegh. Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. The Last House on Needless Street by Katrina Ward. You Should Have Left by Daniel Kelman. The Test by Sylvan Nouvel. The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. Mapping the Interior and My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. A River of Teeth by Sarah Gailey. Gwendy's Magic Feather by Stephen King and Richard Chismar. Horror Store, We Sold Our Souls, and How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Bunny by Mona Awad. Wild Spaces by S.L. Coney. The Supernatural Enhancements by Edgar Cantero. Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Misfortunes by Eric LaRocca. Leave the World Behind by Rahman Alam. Christmas and Other Horrors, an anthology edited by Ellen Datlow. And Slewfoot by Brahm. Now we are moving on to the horror TBR. Episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. Eat the Rich by Sarah Gailey. The Final Girls Support Group by Grady Hendrix. Edenville by Sam Rebeline. Sycorax's Daughter, edited by Kenitra Brooks, Linda D. Addison, and Susanna Morris. The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Eric LaRocca. A Special Place, Floating Dragon, If You Could See Me Now, and The Night Room by Peter Straub. Little Eve by Katrina Ward. Whisper Down the Lane by Clay McLeod Chapman. The Possession by Michael Rutger. A History of Fear by Luke Dumas. Do What Godmother Says by L.S. Stratton. Gwendy's Final Task by Stephen King, Richard Chismar. The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. Lone Women by Victor Laval. Dark Stars, an anthology edited by John F.D. Taff. Echo by Thomas Old Havelt. Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica. Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones. The Lottery and Other Stories by Shirley Jackson. The Shining by Stephen King. Incidents Around the House and Inspection by Josh Mallerman. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. The Between by Tananarive Due. At Home with the Horrors by Sammy Scott. The Fisherman by John Langan. The Night Guest by Hildur Newtstetter. I don't know. The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. The Drowning House by Cherie Priest. Hell House by Richard Matheson. Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. And then the cutest new covers, Cujo, Pet Cemetery, and Christine by Stephen King. Alright, those were all of the unread horror books. Final home stretch here. We only have one shelf left, and that is going to be my romance books. Okay, red romance. Must Love Books by Shauna Robinson. One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Part of Your World. Yours Truly. Just for the Summer. And Life's Too Short, all by Abby Jimenez. Buy the Book by Jasmine Guillory. The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. Landline by Rainbow Rowell. 2 copies of Beach Read by Emily Henry. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. And Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. And now for my unread romance. Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola. Funny Story, Happy Place, and Book Lovers by Emily Henry. The Happy Ever After playlist and The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. Maybe in Another Life, and After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Second Tide's The Charm by Chandra Blumberg. And that is all. That is all my romance, horror, sci-fi books that I have read and not read that I own physical copies of. Let me know which ones you'd like to see me read first, and I'll see you soon with the last video in the series. See you then. Bye.